Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Anno 2205. So, this is the 15th episode of the campaign. And the last episode, we managed to finish off whatever mining facility this is under the water. So, we did finish off basically trying to continuing doing whatever we needed to get this thing working. So, supposedly, we're supposed to get about 75 constructobots, and then we're going to bring it to the facility over here, and we will see what will happen. And yeah, so this is very interesting. So it looks like right now they have a couple boats probably monitoring this area for some sort, and they also have a little ship doing its thing. I guess basically it's just looking around and making sure that nothing bad happens. Who knows? But we potentially might upgrade this part of the city, so the second large city on this island. We do have the main large city over here, which is doing pretty good. And this one will be next, of course, up in line. But I don't know if we'll end up doing it. We will see. But other than that, we are flourishing about 20,000 credits almost per minute, which is insane. Our bank balance is a little low. I mean, maybe to my standards, it's about 900,000, which isn't too bad. So let's go ahead and get these constructor bots, bring it over there. We are going to return to the main map, and we are going to upgrade some citizens over there.
Roger.
So let's send this guy here. Or actually, oh, we have to actually go to the carrier. All right.
Confirmed.
So let's go and send this over to the ghost pirate. Right, I did see there is a large shipping container here. That's very interesting. So we did get the Arctic ones, which are very big. So, yeah, I wonder if they have larger shipping containers. Well, I guess we'll find out as the game goes. There is a lot of shipping happening in between, which is nice to see.
Not bad. However, there's still one little problem with the whole deal.
Oh my gosh. All right, so it looks like we are going to have about a surplus of 2,000 energy balance in Wildwater Bay remaining for at least 10 minutes. Rewards, we get the iridium generator this episode. So you know what? Maybe it is worth the investment to actually get this episode with the iridium generator going, potentially, but that is a lot of power. I don't know how much this is able to generate, but let's see. But anyways, let's go to the other map. All right, so we have quite a bit to do on this map. I don't think I'm going to be moving a lot of this episode. Potentially the next one we will do that. We will see. Considering, I don't know how expensive it's going to be, but let me just take a look. So let me grab this. Okay, so, okay, well, I mean, it's nothing. It's really just 500 credits, which is not bad. All right, so the other thing is that we do have to expand this part of the island, considering we are trying to get
Attention.
the 100,000 investors, but they are going to need 50 rare earth
Consumer
elements.
analyses show
Ooh.
unfulfilled demand.
I think we're really short on a lot of stuff. Oh man, -21 for food and -6 for water. Ooh, a lot actually. -15 for vitamin drinks. It looks like we're not going to be able to upgrade any of these guys.
Come inside.
All right, so let's take care of some of this. You know what? Let's expand this guy over here. I think at least 2. So we're going to need another one. So let's do that. All right, that should be good enough. You know what? I want to see if I'm able to put a road here. All right, that is actually perfect. So we can probably fit some other buildings here, maybe logistics. All right, so we do have one on this side. What else are we going to need? More fruit, that's for sure. So let's go ahead and upgrade this guy and expand them. All right, so we do have one of the vitamin condensers here. So here's 1, here's 2. And there's 3. So for now, that should be good enough. Let's see what else. So Arctic, we just need one more neural implant. Lunar, we don't need anything. Tundra, of course, we don't need much. So let's go and try to fix the route here. Okay, we actually don't have enough. Let's try to get maybe 3. Yeah, that should be good for now.
Updating transfer options.
Alright, so that should be able to fix some of the things here.
Yes, please.
Alright, so what else do these guys need? Right, water. So, ooh, they still need food. -1. My gosh. Alright, so let's get this guy back. Alright, so there's one. Alright, so the other thing too is that we need to expand the desalination plants here. Alright, so the tricky part is to try and find where these bad boys are. I don't... Ooh, there's one here. Okay, this should be... Oh, that is definitely not enough. So we need one more. Alright, let me see. Do we have one guy poking around? I don't want to buy another island if I don't have to. Alright, this island does not have any. Sadly, we can't trade water. Or actually, actually don't know if we can. Maybe we can. Who knows? Alright, so let me see. There's nothing around. I think we kind of maximized everything. Let me see if there's one at least here. So let's go. Maybe we're lucky. No. So by the looks, we're going to need a new island. You know, I wonder if we're going to find anything here. Now I'm looking at all these islands to see if there's like treasure or something. All right, so there is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let's go and take this guy. This one doesn't have any. More mountainous. We don't need that right now. So let's go and send them over
Full
here.
speed ahead.
And what about this island? 1, 2, 3,
Never guessed
4
you'd be
as
so
well.
conservative. Come on, make your voice count.
All right, so it looks like another voting is happening on the space station. All right, so once this guy goes over there, let's see what we have to do. I think we were trying to build
Transfer route
20,000.
inefficient.
All right.
Cause.
So what we can do is start the flax plantation, silicone mine, and micro fabrication hall, and as well as the nano textile. So, I mean, I guess it's a good thing that we did get these islands. We could probably start that over here once he reaches.
Affirmative.
Though we are a little low on graphene, we're eventually going to need it. All right, so we can't actually gain the island. So 109 to 225 graphene. So this is not good.
My superior wishes to offer you an assignment.
All right, we don't need money right now. We actually need a lot of graphene.
Let's see if you have what it takes.
No, we don't need you either. All right, so we're kind of going to have to work with what we got. This is kind of bad considering that we need water. All right. Unfortunately, we don't have anything. All right, so let's just go and start some of the things we're going to need here. So let's go start the flax plantation. All right, so this should be able to expand this way. I'm going to do this. All right, as well as the silicone mine. 1,500, it's not bad. 600. Let's see how much money. 600 as well. 720. So a lot of these are not very expensive. All right, here is going to be the silicone mine. All right, that's pretty incredible. That looks pretty cool. All right, so I guess they're basically just shaving off all the sandstone potentially, or some of the rocks needed to find the silicone, and then it slowly gets packaged into the factories here. Kind of interesting to see how they have these structures. This is where the machines are. It's pretty cool. All right, so we're kind of low on power.
Warning.
I think.
Energy grid overload.
Yep, there is definitely an overload. That's for sure. All right, so there is space here. Ooh, can I actually put one of the waters? Wow, this whole island, there's no water. Incredible. All right, so is there power source somewhere? I don't think there is. Definitely need to get that next island. At least now we know. Nope. What about this one? Is there something here? Wow, not even one. All right, so maybe we are going to need the wind park for now. Let's try to move this to a spot. What about here? Well, there is some room here. Okay, so we can put this guy here for now. How much is this costing? 120. All right, that's not bad. Okay, so we can go back here. Okay, let's start the next factory. Gonna be the microfabrication hall. Okay, let's do that. Yep, that should be good enough. And then we can also start the nanotextile mill. So I want to leave some room. We could do that. That way we can have a second one of these. What is this? So I think this is like some type of special flower. Maybe to create some type of stretchy material. Interesting. All right. And then I guess this is where the suits are made. You can see them being made with the robotics. And, ooh, so it looks like new corporation level 16.
Corporation value
80,000,
has risen.
88,000 credits. Beautiful. All right, so this looks like they are making the microchips. We do need 50 of them to actually, I believe it's this reactor over here. Ooh, we actually do have 50. Perfect. All right, so you know what? Let's reactivate this
Analysis of
reactor.
person-specific
Whoa,
data.
what in the
Completed.
world is this? A synthetic voice has awakened. Oh boy, I think the AI revolution is coming. Maybe we're gonna have some new people. I guess that's what this island is. Thought it was weird. She had like white eyes almost. All right, that was kind of freaky. All right, so let's continue expanding this area. Let's see what these guys are going to need. All right, so we do need at least one more of these silicones. And we're gonna need a bunch of flax fibers. Okay, we are short on power.
Transfer route inefficient. Cause
Great.
missing goods.
So we're gonna need more vitamin drinks. Let's build one more of these. So the good thing is we do have 1,000,000 credits and we're still about 18,000 credits per minute. So this is all balancing pretty well. I'm trying to see where else I'm gonna be putting one of these
Warning.
power mills.
Energy grid overload.
Oh, I know there's an overload. I am trying my best. Let's get one more. That way they're good, so we can start building more microchips. All right, you know what? I don't really want to do it, but I'm probably going to have to put this guy over here. So that's one thing about this game is that in Anno 2205, eventually the amount of energy you're going to need increases to such a substantial level that eventually you're going to need the final phase of the spaceport, and that's what we're going to need is fusion power cells. Basically, it's going to use a section, I've never got into it that far, maybe once, but I don't remember. It basically beams down electricity or some type of big power source, and then basically, you just keep increasing that and the whole map can use it. So that's eventually what we're going to have to work out into the long-term goal. All right, so we have some power. And everything seems to stabilize, so we're doing good. So we can continue building more of these. All right, so we're going to need another one. Ooh, my God, 1,080 per minute. Do we have anything maintenance modules? More maintenance, energy maintenance, workforce maintenance. What is this? Logistics, and this does not work with biocatalyst funnel. I don't even know what that is. Anyways, maybe it's like some type of enhancer.
Transfer route
Great.
inefficient. Cause
We are low
missing
on
goods.
power again. So let me just push this guy over. That way the buildings are not all running against each other. Alright, so now I can get a road to run straight ahead. This way we can add one more of these buildings.
Energy demand can no longer be met.
Yep, we're definitely going to have to take care of that ASAP. Alright, perfect. Okay, so now I'm questioning. Okay, we're going to need more graphene, so let's just add one of the windmills here. We'll take care of all the power eventually. Alright, so we are going to need more flax fibers eventually. Okay, here's one, here's two. So this building is maxed out. Alright, perfect. Okay, we're at least gonna need at least two, maybe. And we can start the second facility. Okay, so they're gonna need more power. So let's try put the road down here. Okay, and I'm gonna add the wind farm. Perfect. Okay, we're just gonna add this guy here. All right. Corporation level 17.
Influence
Nice.
increases to new level.
Alright, so an extra basically 95,000 credits, and now we're back again at 1,070,000, and we're still at 19,000 credits per minute. Awesome. Alright, so... Oh my god. So these guys even need even more flax fibers. I thought it was finished. Guess not. Add one more. Okay, they're gonna need a bunch. Okay, let's try to move this guy like that. Now we can build a road. Perfect. So seeing how I built everything, so my goal there was try to make everything kind of seem normal, I guess. As if it's like, you know, real life. Have all the factories around together. So that's perfect. Coming out exactly how I want it. Okay, so I'm going to probably build another one of these. Alright, now we're at 18. I think there's a glitch of some sort. Oh, they need more microchips. That's the problem. Okay, let's add one. And then two. We're going to need more power. Okay, so we're going to have to go over here. And I'm going to have to put another windmill.
Sacrifices must be made
Oh.
for greater good.
Are we being attacked? We are.
Personally.
Okay, we got to call in the fleet ASAP. Where are these guys? Call them
for
in.
Fleet.
Alright, these enemies are going to be popping up any minute. Nope. Is it? Which island is it? Oh no, it's Wildwater Bay. Okay, well,
Cutting salaries
it is 35 graphene to finish that, so I might go over and take care of that. Alright, so let's go back. In the meantime, we can expand. Where is it? Over here. Perfect. Right, so we got to expand this one more time.
Transfer route suffers from inadequate supply of goods.
Right, so... Okay, we need at least another one. Alright, I think now they're balanced. So let's go back. Okay, I think we have way too many flax plantations. It's not a big deal.
Fleet reaching position.
Alright,
Consumer analyses, commodities.
I can get one more windmill here. We definitely need power big time. Alright, at least we've taken most of this. So let's go to the executives here. Alright, so they have their intel where? Alright, so let's see.
welcome.
Alright, so we are going to need the luxury food, bio-enhancers, and mobility. So that's what I'm most worried about. Let's go to the executives here. How many do we have? 14,000, so about 15,000. Right, so cost effective. I don't know if it's going to be cheaper to build bio-enhancers or luxury food. But let's see. Alright, so one of these is 300, 450, 300, and 600. But the power consumption is huge. So we're basically not going to be able to sustain this. So what we can do is we are going to need graphene. So we can probably do at least one mission and take care of Wildwater Bay. Alright, so let's go to the next island. Alright, so we are going to have to call in the fleet. I think it's probably a good idea that I potentially upgrade
Called for fleet.
the second city over here. Let's see.
Right then.
Oof.
How's things?
So they are losing a bit of their satisfaction, which is not great. It is lowering the amount of money I'm able to make. Yeah, I'm going to upgrade some of these guys.
You're under attack.
Under attack by who? I don't even think we have... Well, we were being attacked by someone.
Enemy
Interesting.
movement detected.
Right. I mean, the fleet is coming, so nothing to worry about. Alright, so what I can do... Go to operators and get the security department. Alright, so we can upgrade a bit more. And this should solidify the second city now. Very awesome. So I'm not going to go into executives because it's not really
Fleet
needed.
on standby.
All right, so where are these bad boys? It's probably going to be in the corner over here. Where are they? Are my boats hiding? Oh no, here they go. All right, guys, we got a large amount of troops. Or enemies, at least. All right, so there are a lot of guys here, but I think it's small boats.
Roger.
Right, the good thing is we can collect most of this energy.
Copy that.
All right, so we do have at least one repair drone, which is nice. Okay, so there are a lot of boats here. These guys are a little hefty. Let's try to bring all these smaller boats in.
Full speed ahead.
The good thing is the battleship's extremely strong.
Copy that.
All right, awesome. How many of these ships? All right, so we have 17 to get rid of.
Underway.
All right, so I don't know if these guys are going in a circle here. So we are going to get 35 graphene, which is nice. We might have to do another mission in the coming episode.
Roger.
All right, let's try to take out these guys here.
Coordinates confirmed.
All right, so that's 9, 10, and then so 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Coordinates confirmed.
All right. Let's take care maybe of this too, and then once we go up, should be enough.
Roger.
All right, so quite honestly, we don't have to fight this guy. All right, so let's go and take care of these big boys. You guys are no match for our ship and our navy here. Especially this battle cruiser that we got.
On our way.
Ooh, can definitely use that. What is this, an EMP? All right,
our way.
nice. Okay, so let's take out these guys. We can probably use the EMP here.
Underway.
Right. At least that's one ship. How many are left? 14, 15, 16, 17. All right.
Clear for action. Full speed ahead.
All right. Now, for the last of it, we are going to launch the missile barrage on these guys. So this is going to be nice to see.
Nuclear missile.
All right, here it comes. All right, let's send our repair drone.
Too safe just yet.
All right. At least these guys are good now. All right, so let's go to the lunar space. We can probably get some of those mobilities going. All right, so let's go and see if we can build some mobilities. We do have a lot of people here. All right, so we actually don't have enough. We need miners, which I'm assuming is probably... Ooh, so it's going to probably be the next in line. So we're going to need oxygen. We're going to have to send rejuvenators. Oh, bioenhancers. Why does it say we don't have... Oh, there's actually no one living here on the moon.
Warning.
Oh my god.
Unfulfilled demand for specific consumer products.
All right, I did not know that. All right. All right, so we definitely got to get this online. Okay, now we can probably start making the oxygen separator here.
Ready for the day.
All right, so now we can get more workers. So I don't think I'm going to expand. Oh my gosh, so there was actually no one living here on the moon. Unbelievable. At least we have oxygen now. This is an interesting building. I guess they basically have a giant drill that just goes in and almost gets some of the moon dust. Have a couple drones and robots. Some of their vehicles. And then it's sent to the processing. That's a neat. And then this somehow just creates the oxygen. What is this? I guess, oh, it pulls it from the ice. All right, that makes sense because it is H2O. All right, so
Reading you loud and clear.
these guys are happy. So how much is the repair? So we actually need more people, 75. So let's go and build some more miners. Right, I actually don't have enough room. Right, is this enough? Let's see. Alright, so we need probably one more line of them.
Sure is valuable.
Alright, we don't have enough material. Alright, we're pretty close. Alright, let's see. Can we find some? Alright, that should be enough. Bingo! Perfect. Alright.
Constructible.
So we can build, finally, the cybernetics factory and also the creep gatherer. How much does this cost? 3,000 as well. 750. Alright. Well, I mean, ideally, we should probably do it. We can always make up the income eventually on maybe the newer map on Wildwater Bay. Alright, so there are more shipping containers by the looks of it heading to the
Consumer
station here.
analyses show unfulfilled demand for specific commodities.
Right, so we're going to need the creep gatherer, so let's build this. So I guess it's just raw asteroids that it's collecting here. Alright, so it looks like they have their miners. So I'm assuming that's what they're collecting here, is all the special asteroids that are potentially here. Okay, we do need more power. Get a solar array going too. Question is where are we going to build that? I don't want to do it over here. I want to keep all the mining concentrated on this side. Okay, we do need some more of the material.
Energy demand too high.
Yep.
Countermeasures recommended.
We are trying to take care of that at the moment. Perfect. All right, so that should be enough. All right, so we can build the solar array now. Let's get a road over there. Okay. Try to make sure. There you go. Alright, so now we just need one of these. Perfect. Now these guys have all the power they need. Now, we just have to get the cybernetics factory. So the question is, maybe I should put this beside this area. Alright, that is perfect.
Not fit for zero gravity exposure. Good thing your biotech division found a way to reduce health
Oh.
risks for your astronauts.
Looks like we got the Engineering
Construction of new building
Institute
types possible.
for the astronauts. Awesome. So that gets sent to the orbital station. Cool. Alright, so now we do have cybernetics factory developing
Well now, here's some
what
good
we
company.
need. So let's see, do we have extra? We don't. So we need an extra expansion of this. That's just one, that's two. Let's just put in a couple of these. Alright, so is there anything that I can build to lower the amount of money? No. So we did...
A CEO such as
oh.
yourself should show their presence on the world markets every now and again.
Alright, so I think they're just asking us maybe to go through a voting stage. Alright, so we do have a bunch of them being produced, but we won't have... Well, actually, we do have enough power. So maybe let me see if I can just find more of these plating. That way... How much of this? That is 7. Can I build one more extension? Let's see. Alright, so I think that's all I can do.
It's the
These
simple
guys
life.
obviously
I like
need
that.
some. Alright, so let's get a trade route. I think it's a little expensive to get a trade route going from the moon. Alright, let's go to Lunar. Let's get these. Send these guys over here. They do need 10. Alright, let's confirm
New
that.
transfer route delivers.
Alright, so I think how expensive? 1,500. So what we can do, we're going to have to do at least one of the orbital watch missions. That way we're able to get enough graphene so that we can get a new island. And we can get the necessary power the entire map's going to need. And yeah, so I think that's the most important. Alright, so probably going to also end the episode. So we are trying to unlock this island. So we do need at least, I don't know, like 70 or 80 more graphene. And that way we can probably get another one of these coastal sites to run the sea turbines. That way it can make the necessary power we're going to need. The other thing too is that this is going to be the last reactor that we're going to need to see what this
Attention.
synthetic AI is.
Under provision of specific consumer goods detected.
Well, I mean, there's only a couple things that are low here. Oh, the rejuvenators. I gotta take care of that next episode.
Attention.
Ooh, and
Under
water.
provision of specific consumer goods detected.
All right, so like I was saying, is that we're going to need this island. That way we can get the necessary buildings, obviously, for water and so on. And we're just going to continue expanding this island here that's left so that we can get the reactor. And we're going to see what is next.
So,
I don't know if we're going to be upgrading these guys into, I think, the 4th tier yet, but we are pretty close. We're almost able to get the metro station, which is going to be very cool to see. We're going to have to change some things around, but, you know, that's how it is. So I think that's what the goal is going to be for the next episode, is probably trying to balance things out. We are at about 10,000 credits per minute. Not crazy, but it's not also too bad. So the good thing is we're just going to continue expanding everything in the lunar sector. That way these executives
I
get
have
what
built
they need.
myself quite a good life here.
Because they produce a lot of money, of course, and we're just going to balance things out. So that's everything for this episode, guys. I'm going to conclude it here. If you guys enjoyed it and you're new to the channel, check out some of the other videos as usual. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to stick around, of course. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Make sure you enjoy the rest of your lunch, breakfast, or dinner, whatever you have. And it is the start of another work week. So hopefully tomorrow you guys enjoy your day. So that's everything for this episode. I'll catch you guys in the next one, and I'll see you tomorrow. See you then.